Right now, deception, what is truth? I mean, people send me things all the time, videos, pictures, and I'm like, now that we're living under the age of artificial intelligence, which is only going to get more intense, how do we navigate? I mean, talk about deception and its role in the end times, what we're seeing, and really how we can be equipped to handle it.
Jesus warned this explicitly in Matthew 24 in the Olivet Discourse, that deception would mark the times. It would be something that the enemy would use. And of course, again, you move back maybe 30, 40 years. Back then, deception might be written, it might be on radio, but today, social media and AI has created an environment where when things pop up, we don't actually know whether they're real or not. And this is why it's more important than ever to be Bereans, to understand God's word, to understand prophecy, because if you do not have a foundation in this area, then you're going to be subject to all kinds of crazy things that are being said and promoted on social media and the news. When I grew up, I was a journalist. I was a newspaper reporter, and I remember Walter Cronkite, and when he would come on, what he said was believable. And you didn't know if he was a Democrat. You didn't know if he was a Republican. And that's the way it should be. This was a time of Jack Anderson, who was a columnist back then. And these people believed in being basically in distinguishing between an editorial and between hard news.
There was a blip, I'm not sure. Will you start again where you talked about Walter Cronkite? And so I'm going to go like this to get everybody's attention. Just jump right into Walter Cronkite, because you started and it was good and then it lost it.
Yeah, Walter Cronkite, when I was a newspaper reporter, I remember watching him, and at the time you couldn't tell what his political affiliation, whether he was Republican or Democrat. And there was a marked difference between what was called an editorial, an opinion, and hard news. And you knew it. And if they were going to give an opinion, they would say, well, this is an editorial. This is an opinion. Today, everything is melded together. We don't know. Basically, all news today is basically opinion. And that's what's happened. And it's happened on the right. It's happened on the left. And that's why it's so important today to have this foundation in truth. Because as you said, today, truth is relative. People say, well, what's true for you is not true for me. Well, that completely defies the definition of truth, doesn't it? Something is true, it's true. Socrates would roll over in his grave, today, in terms of the way people basically have all different versions of what they consider to be true.